Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roundup. Today I have a very special guest. He is from the Netherlands, actually, Mr. Mickey. He volunteered with Phantom Regiment in the 2024 season. All right, Mickey, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So, how is um Europe treating you?
So right now it's a little cold, but yeah, everything's going very well.
Very cool.
Enjoyable, yeah.
Very cool. So how did you get your start in and love for marching arts?
So as some of my hobbies in the past grew on me, they've all started with videos on YouTube. So that's basically where my other hobbies like barbershop singing came to life, and where marching arts came to life too. Especially it started with it was a head cam for the xylophone from Blue Devils 2017. It's one of the guys there that played, and yeah, after you get that recommendation, I kept on clicking and kept on finding out more shows, and it grew on me quite quickly. I must say too. Yeah.
That's really cool. So this was your first time over in America for the Drum Corps National, correct?
Yeah, it was just the first time in the U.S. Overall too, so it
Oh,
was a
really?
very
Okay.
special
Wow.
special experience. Yeah.
That's cool. How was your experience over in America for the first time?
I mean, it was great. It's quite different. I mean, we all speak English, so it helps for me to adjust. I've been to Japan, and there's not basically no one speaks English over there.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you're going overseas, and they do speak a language that that helps out. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. So you got to volunteer with Phantom Regiment. How was that process getting started, and all that? How did that come
Well,
about, actually?
it was an idea that I had 2 years ago, where I wanted to I did wanted to go to the US, um, not just for drum corps, not just for barbershop, but just as an experience, as a vacation to
Okay.
see the entire country as much as I could. Um, and I'm fully aware that going overseas costs a lot of money. And I went on for a trip of 6 weeks. I didn't want to pay it all. Well, normally you try to go as cheap as you can, right? But I thought with volunteering I could see the country a little bit more and do something that that it warms me.
Mm,
I get to be with a group that I like. Yeah.
that is really cool.
hmm
Was it a hard process for you to get signed up as a volunteer, being a non-U.S. citizen?
The only hard part that I had was the background check they wanted me to do.
Oh,
So
okay.
for volunteers, everyone had to do a background check, but the platform they were using only allowed for U.S. and Canadian citizens to sign up with all of their details.
Hmm.
So it took Phantom a while to find something where I could, you know, show that who I am, and make sure that I'm not just a weird random guy who's out to do harm or stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So, what was your experience working with Phantom? Like, how was that, and what was the thrill of just working with drum corps for the first time in your life? I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's as you say rightly so. It I've never before experienced drum corps, in
Okay.
person. Um, so I thought, going on volunteering and joining with a group would not only allow me to be close, but to actually see how it all works behind the scenes, behind the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was really an eye opener, just to see how much work is being put in. That not only the performers, not only the staff, but the volunteers and everyone who tries to help out in their own way. Yeah, it
Okay.
was brilliant to see. Really,
Oh,
really
that's
great.
neat. That's
Yeah.
cool. What was your most favorite part of volunteering?
It's just as I was working in the food truck, um, the most fun parts are when the whole core comes in for their meals, right? So you get to talk with them a little bit, check in on them, see if they're doing okay, see if they like the previous dishes that you made. Yeah, it's a bit of interaction that I mostly liked
Oh,
for
okay.
with the whole core. Yeah.
Okay. Was working on the food truck, was that your job on tour, or did you have different jobs?
No, that was my job on tour is helping out the food truck.
Okay.
So I do have kitchen experience, and I said before that I love making desserts,
Okay.
like patisserie stuff. And fortunately, for every meal, there's like a dessert kind of stuff. So I most of the time I was able to work on that. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, very neat. Is the food very different from what it is over in England?
Yes. Yeah. There's a bunch of uh, menu items that were on tour that I've never had in the Netherlands. It's really an eye opener. Some stuff. I mean, I can't get the names of the recipes anymore, but they were some of them were really good,
Mm.
and I want to try and see if I can contact Phantom for one of the recipes. But
Oh, cool.
other dishes I did find just a little bit disappointing. But can't
Okay.
can't like them all, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. So, what are your thoughts about drum corps as a whole, being able to experience it live for the first time ever?
Uh, It's just a big wall of sound, pretty much, right? And a big visual spectacle. And I'm a music guy, and barbershop helps out because you're really looking into the chords and trying to explain what these progressions are and how the music tells a story, right? So for me, the music is pretty much the biggest part when I go to drum corps, um, and just to see the whole production, not only just the music but the visuals that come with it too. It's just mind-boggling how it's even been put up in the first place and then produced as a whole with all the performers. It's incredible.
Yeah, definitely. With um, with you being 6 hours ahead of the United States, what is it like when it comes to the actual drum corps season? I know you have to stay up very late watching some of the shows. How was that
Exactly.
experience?
It's you just because it's one of your passions. You wanna see it live at least one time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you commit to a few late night shifts where you just watch the shows and see them live. Otherwise, you have to wait for the footage, and that could
Mm.
take some time on
Yeah,
its own. So,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Some nights have been brutal where I did have to work the day after, so there wasn't a
Oh,
lot of hours of sleep. But
that's
I
rough.
say I've been doing okay up till now, so
Oh,
yeah, it's
that's
been good.
cool.
Yeah.
Are you planning to come out here um again to volunteer?
Um, I would want to, probably not in the next year or two, because I do want to see other parts of the world, and I don't have the opportunity to make these big trips every
Mm.
year. I
Yeah,
still work full time and keep a house up and have a normal life. But yeah, if I have the chance in the future, I'll definitely come back and probably volunteer again. Yeah.
that was awesome. That's awesome. What was your championship experience like?
Oh, that was great. So I before I started volunteering, I planned to be in the stands at finals night. So for finals, I wanted to be in the audience. I was actually pretty close up. I was between the 40-45, and not just the first block that was kind of eye level, but a block a little bit higher up. So I had quite a good view of everything, pretty much, and good sound too. Um, but that was finals, that I just wanted to have that moment for myself. The
Mm.
prelims, the semifinals, I was with the core and I joined them on the field. Going backstage and all. That was really awesome just to hear the crowd going wild behind you on the fan favorite show of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It you pretty much know, halfway through the season that the show is going to be just a massive hit with the audience. Um, from Atlanta upwards to the finals, it's just been a wild ride every show that we've been to, and yeah, it's just awesome to have full blast sound of Phantom ahead of you, crowd behind you, and it's just noise and sound and joy everywhere. It's incredible. That was
Wow,
really fun.
that's awesome. So, you got to watch the entire top 12 finals night, correct?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really neat. The groups this year were just amazing. What were your top three?
My personal top three, just not looking at scores, just having Phantom. Then I would say Boston. I really like Boston show. They were really fun, creative with not only with their outfits but the whole concept. Boston usually have been really great with storytelling shows, but been lacking, in my opinion, when it comes to just shows with a concept without a real story behind it. They've really done it great this year. And I would say third place would be Blue Coats.
Mm,
Just it's different, but it just worked, and
yeah,
it was
definitely.
very smartly written, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Have you been able to see any other groups while working on tour, or did you just get to see them while at championships?
So for other shows that we've been to, there have been a few of them where I just stuck with the core.
Okay.
So I wasn't actually able to see the other cores during those shows. Um, but there were just like one or two after Atlanta where I asked the food truck manager like, "Hey, um, it seemed that we don't have a lot of stuff to work on now. Can I just go to the audience and watch a couple of shows?" And I was able to do that, so that's really really nice. It's
Oh,
cool.
cool. What is a typical a day like from the time you for breakfast till the end of the day? What's it like working on the food truck?
So food truck, apart from performing and any staff that keeps the performers up, it's probably the second most demanding volunteer role, I would say. Food trucks. I mean, for Phantom, it has been you wake up, sometime before breakfast because you need to make the breakfast, and the cycle just continues for lunch and dinner and the snacks after dinner too. You just keep going. Really, you can take your own breaks. It's fine, but it's been long days where you cook every meal and feed the kids.
Okay, and then what like how was it like traveling with the core from Atlanta to finals? How was that?
It was fun. I initially imagined that like the performers would be sitting in the bus and then driving to the next location. Turns out for the staff, they had a few bunk bed buses where you could actually sleep in,
Oh
lying
wow,
flat.
okay.
I didn't know that was a thing until very 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 close to me joining the corps, so I had to go to Walmart and like buy a pillow, a blanket, and some other stuff, to be comfortable sleeping in the bus. um so that was an experience. It's pretty funny that one night, we were I think we were going towards Allentown, or a stop before, and we just had drive at night around some hills, right? So it's kind of like a hill track sort of thing. A lot of bands going up and down. I think our driver at that point um, was either just really wanting to hurry up or had some spicy food in dinner, because she drove quite fast and we kind of wobbled in our bunk beds a little bit, and that was kind of an experience on its own. But overall, it's been really good. Yeah, really, really good.
Oh, that's cool. What was the most challenging part of being a volunteer?
Um, the long hours is pretty tough, but you just keep the energy from seeing the kids perform and interacting with everyone. So that's a thing. The most challenging part for me, um, yeah, that was especially for me. I had a quite an accident on tour that really ruined some plans that I had on tour. Um, so in this big food truck, you have a walk-in cooler, and then in it another walk-in for the freezer. It's pretty big. Um, so one day, we were in Huntington, Pennsylvania, I believe. Just a couple days there. Uh, no shows, I believe, too. Just that we had a quite a stop. One day, I opened the big steel door to go into the walk-in cooler. Unbeknownst to me, while I was still trying to get in, the door shut on me. Um, it did make a pretty deep cut in my right heel. Um, Quite a lot of blood loss. Kind
Mm.
of nasty to see. Um, and I had to go to urgent care and I got 6 stitches on. I
Oh
wasn't
wow.
able to
Okay.
walk for a few days. Um, and that's really where I get to see how an organization like that functions. And I don't know if that's a topic that you wanted to discuss. I'm just
Yeah.
going to bring
Sure.
it
Go
up.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way they handled it was just really, really, really great. Credits to the Phantom staff and the organization for it because I wasn't able to walk for a few days. I wasn't able to help out in the kitchen. Couldn't do anything. I was just a sitting duck. Um, so we eventually found a solution where I could um, leave with one of the volunteers that lives in Indianapolis. Um, Stay there a couple of days while the Corps gets to Indianapolis and a couple of days after, and then rejoin them when I'm again able to walk and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully work in the kitchen again. That was just me trying to work it out with Joe Taylor, the core directors, and Dwight Emmert, two of the big names in the corporate
Mm-hmm.
in the organization. Ron, actually no, it was Dwight actually contacted his brother Ron Emmert, who also lives in Indianapolis, and they were able to arrange for me to go to Ron's house for a couple of days, recover, and then come back when the core gets to Indy. Um, it was a very nice way to help me out, as a foreigner in a
Mm-hmm.
overseas, not a lot of money, very kind of them to help out and uh, get me on the path and allow me to still be with the core the last couple of days. I'm very grateful for that gift.
That is really cool. That's really cool. I know I found you through a Discord group, so you were sharing some of your updates. So that was kind of cool how you went into that and
Yeah,
shared some of your experience, which is pretty neat.
yeah, it was quite a big scare, because the on-site doctor on the first night after I got my stitches in. It's a funny story beforehand because I got stitches. The nurse said, "Oh, you can just walk. You keep walking and you'll be okay." And pretty much the first step I took, you could see some more blood just seeping out
Oh
of the
no.
bandages. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do that now.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
on that evening, while getting some redoing the bandage with the on-site doctor, she said, "You probably have to go home. It's probably the end for you."
Mm.
Luckily, I was able to recover just enough to move to Indy and recover more to get back with the core. I wasn't really walking as fast as I normally would,
Okay.
but when I got back with the core, I was able to stumble slash walk. Not
Mm.
full pace, but take a little bit careful. I was able to stand
Yeah.
on my own and do the job, so I was very lucky to. The doctor did say it was literally a hair away from cutting my Achilles tendon.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Wow.
If that would have happened, I would have had to go home. That was it. But
Yeah.
luckily, that wasn't the
Seriously.
case. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, how was your interaction with everyone involved in the fandom organization as being not from America? Like, how was like learning all the ins and outs of what a drum corps is?
Everyone's been just so welcoming and very kind to me. And every question I had, and they were able to answer and help me out. It was great. It's just that everyone just knows so much. A lot of the people who volunteer too have been in the circuits with either with themselves or seeing their kids perform.
Okay.
Um, so they just have a bucket of experience, even volunteering too, and they know how everything works and what the standards are and what they're looking for and what they're trying to do. So for me as an outsider and newcomer too, to come in and trying to help out in my way too. It's been a pleasure and a gift.
Was it hard coming in knowing that you're more? Was there a sense of pressure for you to like really step up your game as a foreigner coming into the organization, or was that pretty? Um, wasn't that as bad?
I mean, I don't think you're supposed to feel the pressure, but for me, I just wanted to do a good job. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make good food and make everybody happy. And I planned to be there for 2.5 weeks. So if I butchered my job in the first couple of days, then they probably just look at me like, oh, we don't really want him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think.
Yeah,
I think they
exactly.
really appreciate it. I think they're quite appreciative of every volunteer coming in. But I just wanted to do a good job, so
Yeah,
I wasn't looked down upon, and I never was. I never was looked down upon, so it's a good thing. Yeah.
that's awesome. How was the interaction with the marching members themselves? Like, um, did you get to share what it's like over in the N- Netherlands, or how was that interaction?
Yeah. So Phantom had a couple of, well, you could say foreigners too, right? So I think they had two people from Japan.
Oh wow, okay.
And they even had a guy from the Netherlands too. Um, so it's really fun to after 1 or 2 days, I recognized the guy, and I didn't talk to his dad before I went on tour, and it just started where we just talked a little bit of Dutch when we had the meals and the kids come in. So it's a nice interaction where I can actually just speak my native language to
Hmm.
somebody outside of our own country. It's pretty fun, and I think for him too, where he could just talk to a guy who could speak his language too. I think that was really fun.
Oh, very cool. Are you big into the European drum corps scene?
No, well, I did go to the European Drum Corps Championships in a it was late September or beginning October,
Mm-hmm.
because that was actually quite close to where I live. So I
Okay.
figured, yeah, I bought a ticket and see the championships there. It was quite fun.
Oh, cool.
It's quite funny too. There was one Phantom uh, guard member who does live in England, that was with their English marching band or drum corps to perform there. So I got to see her again after
Oh,
the
that's
tour. That was
cool.
kind of fun. Yeah,
That's
that
neat.
was quite fun.
Wow, that's really cool. So, what advice do you have for people that like are not from America that say like, "Hey, I heard your story. I want to volunteer. How do I go about it? What's your advice to them?"
My advice is just do it. It's insanely fun. The hours could be long if you especially do the food truck. Um, but then again, the rewards are just way up there. Seeing the shows, seeing the kids, just have a nice interaction with everyone. Um, I don't know if it's for any volunteer or with any core, but my travel expenses and staying with the core have been just zero. I
Really?
didn't have to pay
Wow.
anything um, during my stay. Um, no travel expenses, no stay, no food, drinks, all just with the core itself. So that was great. I don't know if that's for any core. If that's really what you're looking for, um, reach out, I guess. But volunteering is really fun. You can see everything up close. Um, what more would you want if you like drum corps
Exactly.
and you want to volunteer? Just go to any corps and they would likely just want you in there. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Any closing thoughts or just thoughts about drum corps in general?
Yeah. Well, I'm just really happy to find this. Performing arts really. It's already been gifting since I come to enjoy it, especially this summer. I took a lifetime souvenir with the scar in my heel, so that's that's
Mhm.
something, I guess. But no, it's been great. I even heard from a lot of recurring attendees of the championships that it's just been a really really great year to come and see the shows live. It's been a true joy and a true gift, and I wish that everyone who even watches or listens to the podcast and were doubting to either perform for a core or volunteer to just do it. It's insanely fun.
That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, Mickey, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Have a great day yourself. Take
Hey,
care.
you too. Bye bye.
Take care.
All right,
Bye.
everybody, thank you for listening to this episode of the Roundup. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and bye bye.